You're watching Newsday TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Macy Egland. First in Newsday, Justin Timberlake was arrested on the East End, and it was caught on an officer's body camera. Drew Scott has more from Sag Harbor.
He's known by his fans as the Prince of Pop. Justin Timberlake faced a judge in Sag Harbor after he was arrested and detained, accused of DWI charges. Residents here say they're glad village police are very proactive against drunken driving.
Always make the right choice, and I mean, again, you have it right at your fingertips. And if you're unsure or your phone dies, you don't have access to Uber, just, you know what, it's the summer. You could sleep on a park bench.
Timberlake told the arresting officer at this four-way stop at Madison and Germain Avenue that he only had one martini at the American Hotel. The officer, according to court documents, says the recording star was glassy-eyed, smelled of alcohol, failed a sobriety test, and refused a chemical or breathalyzer test.
It's unfortunate. This is something I think that we encounter a lot out here. It's incredibly dangerous. I think people are grateful that no one was injured.
The court complaint says the officer was wearing a body camera and recorded the traffic stop and sobriety test. It hasn't been released. Timberlake was held overnight at police headquarters and brought to the municipal building for his morning court appearance. We were unable to get a comment from Timberlake, his lawyer, and the police department.
There shouldn't be any DWI, but if there is, I hope they get stopped by the police. And what else can I say? I'm sorry for Justin.
Timberlake was released on his own recognizance. He pleaded not guilty and will return at a later date. In Sag Harbor, Drew Scott for Newsday TV.
First in Newsday, a former Bayshore teacher already in trouble with the law is now facing child pornography charges. Prosecutors say Thomas Bernagozzi had thousands of nude photos of mostly male students in his home. The 75-year-old pleaded not guilty to the new indictment. As Newsday has reported, he's already pled not guilty to charges of sexual conduct against a child involving two former students. If convicted, the Babylon man faces up to 25 years in prison on each charge. Donald Trump's gag order appeal in his hush money case has been declined. The Court of Appeals says the order does not raise, quote, substantial constitutional issues. The former president was convicted on 34 counts of falsifying business records. He'll be sentenced on July 11th. Home prices on Long Island continue to break records. Newsday business reporter Jonathan LaMantia has the latest numbers.
So we have record high prices in both Nassau and Suffolk County. You know, we thought that when mortgage rates have really stuck around at 7%, that might cool down Long Island's housing market. But instead, we have, prices increasing 13% year over year in Nassau County, 14% in Suffolk County. Now you have the median price of $790,000 in Nassau County and $651,000 in Suffolk County.
An inventory shortage and mortgage rates that people just don't want to give up are driving it, but there is some hope for some buyers.
Agents in Suffolk County said they've started to see a little bit of a shift. There's slightly more houses on the market in Suffolk County this year than last year. Nassau actually has fewer than last year. And so there's a little bit less urgency. People have kind of gotten used to the 7% mortgage rates. They don't have, so much fear about rates moving up on them and increasing their monthly payment. So there's just a little bit less urgency at these open houses. Maybe you have a lot of people touring, but you might not have as many offers coming in after those open houses.
You can read more about Long Island's housing market on Newsday.com. Well, state parks on Long Island will have free admission during this week's heat wave. Governor Kathy Hochul says Jones Beach, Robert Moses, Hither Hills, and Sunken Meadow will open early for swimming. The $10 admission fee will be waived on Tuesday and Thursday. We'll have the 7-day forecast for you in just a couple minutes. One Suffolk homeowner is pleading with leaders from every level of government to save her home. It is right on the edge of this cliff because of erosion.
Life is at stake here. My family is very, very scared to stay in this house.
Right outside Yan Chung's front door in Rocky Point, her dream house with a beautiful water view has become something she sees in her nightmares.
We are so stressful whenever we see that another rain is coming.
This massive hole opened up on Soundview Drive, and now Chung can't even drive to her home. Signs blocking both sides of where this road used to connect.
If my house is on fire now, the fire truck cannot reach me to save life. Even if I have emergency call, nobody could reach me to save us anymore.
It was a storm back in January that ultimately led to this portion of the roadway collapsing down the cliff, and it's gotten worse with every rainfall since, according to Chung. Now the cliff just 3 feet away from her retaining wall.
The whole community has deep concerns because this is not just affecting my house. There are houses around, and if nothing is done, it will just keep expanding.
Chung is pleading for help at every level of government, from the town to state congressmen, begging for the cliff to be restored or at least retained.
Clearly, there's a lot of things that the government could do immediately, at least to slow down the corrosion.
Until then, Chung waits and watches as the cliff inches closer by the day.
I think this is the best house I ever got. I was so lucky. So now I'm just hoping the cliff will be fixed ASAP.
Erosion, flooding, and rising insurance rates are just some of the problems discussed in a Newsday Next LI town hall event that's online right now. A panel of experts talk about future risks and the financial impact. You can watch it on newsday.com/paying the price. Now let's take a look at your Long Island forecast. We've got a nice stretch of weather for those of you who like the heat. Tonight we drop down to around 68 degrees or so, partly cloudy. Tomorrow for your Wednesday, definitely warm in the 80s for Long Island, partly cloudy and dry. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast, we do have a little bit of rain on the way, possibly a thunderstorm Friday, Sunday, and Monday looking wet as well, mixed in with those 80-degree weather streak though. So if you like summer heat, here you go.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Fire Island Ferries.
You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Macy Eglin. Thanks for joining us. Hope you have a great night.